5, 4, 3, 2. Realtors, you're in the right spot.
We're going to do this together.
Welcome to the Leading Edge Podcast.
These mentors showed me a map of success.
This is the place for real estate pros like you to get better at running your business, balancing your life, and having happy clients.
Do you know how powerful you are?
And now your host, Eric Thompson.
Hey, what's up, everyone? It's your good friend, Eric Thompson. This is the Leading Edge Podcast. It's episode number 85. It's called The Credibility Key. Before I get into that content and what I'm going to teach you, I just want to say, hey, I feel you. I feel what's going on. Oh my gosh, you guys, so much change so fast has caused a lot of change in your world, a lot of change in your business. I feel you. Whether you are a real estate agent, a brokerage owner, a loan officer, any of those things, I feel you, all right? And I want you to know I'm here to help, right? I'm here to totally have your back. I am just completely focused on how I can be most helpful given what is going on in the market, in the world, in the economy, interest rates, all the things. And so that's why I created today's podcast called The Credibility Key, which is brought to you by my free ebook. So make sure you go to erictbook.com. It's a book. It's really easy to read. It's got 27 strategies to help you grow your business. Free book. You can grab it online. It's an ebook. You download it. Super simple. erictbook.com. Okay. The credibility key. You guys, you need a key to unlock this market. Okay. So in a lot of ways, this market is locked up and it feels locked up to you. It feels stuck. It feels way slowed down. And so as I think about what would be helpful for you would be a key, right? We need a key to unlock this market, unlock really the opportunities for you that exist in this market and the opportunities to serve. And I want you to keep some things in mind. All right, I want you to keep some things in mind. Number one, there is a massive opportunity to serve right now, a massive opportunity to serve because there's so much change, so much uncertainty in the marketplace. Your mission, what you can do is bring clarity to a confused market. I want you to keep in mind that although transaction count has slowed, it hasn't gone to zero. Okay, there are still plenty of transactions happening in the market. The next 12 months will be probably somewhere around between 4 and 5 million transactions will happen across the United States. There's still a lot going on, all right? So just stay focused on that. Just know that. Just keep that in mind. Now, as I get into credibility being the key to unlock the opportunity for you, I want to give you a quick example, a quick metaphor. All right, so the other day, I got my haircut. I go to the same place. It's not really a barber shop. I guess it kind of is, but it's a haircut place. I roll in there. I set an appointment, but I don't set it with a particular person. I'm okay with anyone there. They tend to do a good job. If you saw me in person and knew me, you would know there's not like a whole lot to work with anyway. And so there's not, when it comes to credibility and the person who's going to cut my hair, in my mind, it's not that big of a deal. Okay, I don't like go online to check their credentials. I'm not even checking like Google reviews about the person who's going to cut my hair. Like I'm just assuming because they work there that they're going to kind of know, at least kind of know what they're doing. That's a haircut. A few months ago, I had surgery on my shoulder surgery, which apparently is hard to say. I had shoulder surgery a few months ago. And so when it came to credibility, that was a big deal to me when I thought about my surgeon. Okay, so the person who's going to operate on me, they better have some credibility. So for sure, I did my research on the surgeon. And for sure, I talked to other people that surgeon had helped out and worked with. And for sure, I checked background and right on and on and on because it was such a big deal. So let me ask you this. Let's use this metaphor now and tie it to what's happening in the market right now. Is the market today, is it more like a haircut or more like surgery? Now, it's not all the way to surgery. It's still not life and death. However, things have gotten, more complicated. more complicated, more challenging, more difficult, more uncertain, more factors at play, more change, right? All of those things have massively driven up the need to have higher credibility in the mind of your client. And the thing is, when it comes to your clients and you and credibility, the thing is, there's an opportunity to raise the awareness of your credibility because you are already credible. You already know your stuff. I know you do. You wouldn't be listening to this podcast if you didn't, right? You're someone who's committed to being really good at this profession, really knowing your stuff and understanding the market and all the things, right? But do your clients know that? Do your clients know that to the extent that they could? Because the thing is, guys, relationship isn't enough. In this market, it isn't enough. Now, it's never enough on its own. It's always super important, but never enough on its own. But now, given the new complexities and new challenges and new difficulty and new change and new risk involved in the market, relationship definitely is not enough. So let's go back to my surgeon example. As I think about that surgeon's personality, sure, I would hope that they're a nice person and have a good bedside manner, and then I could have a conversations with them, and that they would do a good job of explaining what's happening. Yeah, that's all well and good. But again, a bigger deal to me was that they really knew their stuff, right? That they were really, really good at their profession of being a surgeon. And so the same is going to happen with your clients. Again, not to the extent as they think about surgery, but what they're going to say is, yeah, I want them to be a nice person. That's important. And I want them to definitely have my best interest in mind. I want them to be pleasant to be around, and I want to have a nice relationship with them. But what I really care about is that they know their stuff. Because I see what's going on in the world. I read the articles. I hear the stories. I'm a smart person. I see the change. And so what I get, like now more than ever, I better have someone who knows what the heck they're doing. So does your client know that you know what the heck you're doing? Like, do they know that to the extent that they could or should know that? And so again, the trap we can fall into is believing that we can get by on relationship alone. And we can't, because the classic thing you've probably heard before, the average person knows 12 realtors, right? So on average, the average person knows 12 realtors. So they know you plus 11 others. So they know 11 other perfectly nice people. Now, they probably aren't as nice as you, but they know 11 other really nice people. But is someone standing out as being the real expert, as being the pro? And so you're getting the point, I'm guessing by now, you're saying, okay, Eric, I get it. I need to have some really high credibility in the mind of my clients, probably an opportunity to dial that up in terms of their awareness of my credibility. But you're probably thinking, well, I don't want to be all pushy. Like, how am I going to do this in a cool way that doesn't make me feel pushy, right? That doesn't make me that person. How am I going to do that? Well, my friends, I have a solution. What you need is what I call your monthly core credibility builder. Okay, you need a monthly core credibility builder. So a piece that's going out every month that dials up your credibility. All right, and I'm going to walk you through some specifics on how you can do this. And even if right now you're thinking, oh, I have that already, I'm wondering if you are doing it with messaging that is most effective. So there's some effective frameworks when it comes to the messaging that's inside of these credibility pieces that I'll give you here in a few minutes. So the preview of that part, though, is it's more than just showing the numbers, right? Because anyone can just put up some numbers. Anyone can cook up the infographic and throw it up on Facebook. But can you be insightful on that? All right. So I don't want you to tune out, even if you're thinking right now, well, I got this. I know what I'm doing. I already have something like that. But are you doing it as effectively as you could? Okay, so you have some platforms available to you, right? So you have many platforms when it comes to how you interact with your clients, right? Lots of different ways you can do that. You can do that being face-to-face with them. You can be on the phone with them. You can text with them. You can send them a handwritten note. You can send something in the mail. You can put something on social media, and then you can also send them an email. Okay. So really those are the ways, right? Those are the different ways for you to be able to connect with your clients. And let's think about those when it comes to building credibility. Like which of those are most effective at building credibility? And what's kind of interesting is it's face-to-face that is a great way to build credibility. And we actually talked about that in the last podcast on ways to phrase, right? When you talked about how to talk about the market, when you talk about the market in a great way, it's really effective. And so whether you're doing that face-to-face or on the phone, even by text is great. But the challenge when it comes to building credibility, the challenge with face-to-face and phone is that it's really hard to do that at scale. It's super hard to do that at scale because you can only do those things one at a time. And as good as that is, there's nothing like being one-on-one face-to-face with a client. Like that's where it's at, right? As good as that is, it is really tough when it comes to being able to scale your credibility. So I'm going to give you some other thoughts, some additional ideas that will make your face-to-face go even better, that will make your phone interaction go even better. So then what we go look at are three things. We look at the physical mail, like snail mail, we look at social media, and we look at email. And so what I want you to consider is getting at least one of these in place in a super effective way, at least one. And if you get all three going, that's even better. And that would be the long-term mission, is that you're doing all three of those. Something in the physical mail, something on social media, something email. Now, even though I'm talking about a monthly core credibility builder, you need to do something more than once a month on social media. So if you're picking social media, it really needs to be at least once a week, at least. So what can you do in the mail? Well, in the mail, you can do a printed newsletter to be sent out. You can do some sort of market update, like on a postcard. You can do letters, even in an envelope, like writing a letter to your clients about what you notice in the market, right? So you have lots of different options about the mail. I'm actually a big fan of physical mail because emails don't get open. There's a lot of research around that emails just flat out don't get opened. So that's the advantage that physical mail has. So then you have social media. The way to go with social media is to do more than just post up numbers. I'll give you some frameworks in a minute. But if you were in a pattern of posting up your weekly takeaways about the market, all right, so that's something you could do every single week. Put up your weekly takeaways about the market. Like, here are the things I noticed about the market. And again, in a minute, I'll give you some specific framework. Don't mean to keep teasing about that. But if you created like a really nice graphic on that, go into Canva, get someone who's really good at this to help you create a nice template for how it looks. So you could do a written weekly market update. You could do a video weekly market update, but you got to do something. And then if you're not picking either mail or social media, then you have email. The great thing about email is it's cheap. The tough thing about email is that they tend to not get opened. But if you're going to do email, what do you have available to you? You could do an email newsletter. I know some realtors that are having a lot of success right now with email newsletters. And if you weave in some personal things too, it makes them more likely to engage with that newsletter. You could do like a blog, right? You could write a electronic weekly little update, like more like a letter. You can do a weekly like graphical snapshot of what's happening in the market. You could do any sort of monthly update by email, right? So you have email available to you. So here is the framework to use, right? So I'm going to give you the framework to use in any of those platforms. Okay, I'm going to give you two frameworks, actually, two things to think about when you write your takes on the market. Number one framework is this. Here's what I notice, and here's what it means to you. Here's what I notice, here's what it means to you. So what you notice can be a number, right? It can be some kind of a stat. We notice inventory doing X. We notice prices doing X. We noticed days on market making this certain kind of a change. And here's what it means to you. So the here's what it means to you part is the part that builds your credibility. Because again, anyone can put up a number, But only someone who's credible, only someone who's an expert can talk about what it means to the client. So what does it mean? So if prices are still going up, what does that mean for a typical homeowner? If inventory is going way up, what does that mean for a typical homeowner? All right, so that's framework number one. Framework number two would be, here's what I predict or what we predict, and here's why. So again, anyone can make a prediction. Anyone can just throw out what they think is going to happen, but only an expert can talk about why they think that. So what's a prediction you have? What's a prediction you have for the next month, for the next quarter, for the next year? Put up that prediction and talk about why. So you can do both those frameworks. You can go back and forth. You don't have to keep doing yearly predictions. You can say, here's what I see happening for the next 30 days from now to the end of the year, the next quarter, whatever it is. Make your prediction and then talk about why you think that, all right? And just have fun with that. So again, to circle back, you guys, there's a big opportunity to dial up your credibility. And that is really the key in this market. Like, the client is going to be looking for people who are the most credible to help them with a really complicated process, okay? So that's what they're looking for. And so we have to dial up the awareness of your credibility. You're already credible. You just need to make sure your clients know that in a way that's not pushy and cheesy and salesy, only in a way that adds value. The way to add value is to give those insights, right? Here's what I notice. Here's what that means to you. That's value add. Here's what I predict. Here's why. That's total value add. So go do that. Go unlock the opportunities you have in the market with that credibility key. Again, go grab my book. It's free ebook. It's got 27 strategies. It's called 27 Strategies to Grow Your Real Estate Business. It's at erictbook.com. Check it out. Hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you in the next podcast. Until then, enjoy life on the leading edge.